There is a mass awakening taking place on Earth right now. Now, there has been an awakening going on for a while now, and we have said that most of you who are on the screen now are awake to a greater extent than a lot of the other people. Now, what's happening is the awakening is speeding up. And we are now talking about a physical 3D awakening where the others on your planet are going to be awakened. And you can see some of that taking place already. You can see that systems are failing, that things aren't working as well as they used to be. There's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of polarization, there's a lot of natural disasters, and all of these things are to help everybody wake up. And for many people, the first thing that they feel when they awaken is anger. They realize that things are not what they thought it was. The planet is not what they thought it was. That a lot of the things that they've been taught, a lot of the things that they believe are simply not true. And the response to that is usually first anger. And remember when we talked about law of attraction and we talked about the energy flowing, anger is very, very strong desire. It's very, very strong asking. So the first response being anger is not a bad thing unless you stay there. It's shock and surprise that generally wake the people up. And that can be from many, many things. That can be from losing a job, from someone making a transition, from an illness, from a diagnosis, from many, many different things that can cause that. And that can bring up, as we said, anger, grief, sadness, disorientation, heartbreak, and it can also be very tiring. The folks who are already awake and who are lights in the world, which all of you are, can find this time a bit draining and can find this time to be tiring. And we're going to talk more about the law of attraction in a minute and help you with that. But we want you to remember that it's all right to take a break. It's all right to rest. It's all right to take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself first, you really have nothing to give to anybody else anyway. So be aware of that. Self-care is really important going forward. The awakening is going to continue for quite a while. And there's going to be some great rumblings through the end of this year, through about the middle of next year, but the awakening will continue on past that. You've heard us talk about contrast. And contrast is simply the events of life, everything that happens. Now, if you think about what contrast is light and dark. If you're trying to take a photo and there is no dark, there's only light, you don't get a photo. And if there is only dark and there's no light, you still don't get a photo. It's the balance of the two. So contrast is necessary because from your non-physical perspective, you were in a place where there was no contrast. And the growth and motion forward from non-physical is nowhere near as much as it is from a physical contrasting environment, which is why you came here, because you knew that you would grow and you would expand and you would experience, and your soul would continue on its journey at a much greater rate of speed. So that's why people come into non-physical. The awakening is to get people to question things that they haven't questioned in the past, to stop giving away their power and to empower themselves. That's really what's going on. That's really what is being taught on your planet now. And that's what we're going to talk about more tonight. It's about personal empowerment. It's about remembering who you are. The other thing that's happening is some of you know or have heard that this is the time of the goddess, which means this is the time of the feminine energy rising. And the feminine energy is continuing to get strong, and the feminine energy has a large role to play in fixing all of this, because the feminine energy has been denied on your planet for thousands and thousands of years. So it's time to get that back into balance between the male and the female energy. So that's why the feminine energy is rising so strongly now, and the systems set up by the masculine energy are falling apart, because the systems need to be put together by both halves, the male and the female, for them to work going forward. Now, this is the most important thing. Well, one of the most important things for you to remember. You do not have to join mass consciousness. You do not have to join them at all. You create your own reality. You are allowed, you are expected, you are capable of, maybe not expected, that's not the right word, but you are capable of creating your own reality. You can live your own joyful, happy life regardless of what's going on in mass consciousness. Now, we understand that that takes some practice, and it takes some focus, and it takes some understanding of how the law of attraction really works, and remembering who you are. You are the universe. You are creator. You are a spark of the divine. You are a reflection of God. You are God. And when you remember that from who you are, and remember that you are creating your own reality, you do not have to join mass consciousness. Do you recall that we said that there's two emotions, love and fear? And when you're in love, any emotion that feels good, you're in alignment with your higher self, your soul, your inner being, whatever you want to call it, and you're allowing your energy to flow. And when you're in fear, you're asking, but you're not in alignment, and there's a bit of a tension, a pull between. Now, some people say separation, but that you really can't separate yourself from yourself. But what you're feeling is you're feeling the discord, because your soul never focuses over here, never focuses in fear, is always focused on the positive, is always focused on love. And that's why you have the emotions that you feel, the negative emotions, because you have deviated your focus from your alignment. Let's change that up just a little bit so that you understand it. The love side is the receiving side, and the fear side is the resistant side. So when you're in fear, you're resisting your energy from flowing, you're resisting what you want, and you're not allowing it to flow to you. When you're in the love side, you're aligned and you're allowing, you're in the receiving mode. The law of attraction is always working. In other words, it's always on. Just like gravity. You don't expect gravity at some nights to be turned off and everybody floats off the planet when they sleep. Gravity is always on. The law of attraction is always on. Now, why is this important to know? Because you can be in the receiving mode and the law of attraction is on. You can be in the resistant mode and the law of attraction is on. You cannot say no to anything, because this is based on attraction. It's based on the law of attraction. So when you're looking at the thing that you want, whatever it is, and you're saying, yes, 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 come to me, I want this, I'm happy about this, I love this, come to me, you're attracting it. When you're looking at something you don't want, whether it's an illness or a bodily condition or whatever else it might be, and you're going, no, 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 get away, I don't want you, get away, you're attracting it. The law of attraction is always on. The person who has control over where you are is you. And that's part of taking your power back, is remembering, am I in alignment or am I in resistance? Now, it's not the end of the world if you're in resistance. There are going to be times when you are in resistance because asking is part of it. But if you stay there most of your life, you're not going to have a wonderful experience, and you're going to attract things that you don't want without realizing that you're pushing against them, which is bringing them into your experience. Don't look for the solution first. Look to get into alignment first, and then allow the solution to come to you. Now, that's very, very different from what you've been taught. You've been taught to find the problem, fixate on the problem, figure it out, stomp it into the ground, boom, 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 kill it, figure it out, work it out, etc. If you come home with a test that had 10 questions on it and you got 9 right and 1 wrong, which one are you going to focus on? So it takes some focus, and it takes some remembering that it's alignment first, and then allow the solution to come to you. The critical voice that you hear in your head is programming. It's false beliefs. It's never coming from alignment. It's never coming from your soul. Do you remember we talked about when you're working on shifting and changing your beliefs, we ask you, is it a fact or is it a story? Well, the negative beliefs want to stay around. They want to keep that energy. They want to be here. So they're going to tell you a story. Oh, you can't do that. You're not smart enough to do that. Who do you think you are? Your parents never did that. You didn't do that. And all of that is a story. But that's how the negative beliefs work. And that's how they continue to exist, by telling you a story that's not true. So when you're hearing that critical voice, it's not you. And that's when you want to release those beliefs. That's when you want to release that story, because it's not true. When you're hearing the story that you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, give your power away, it matters what other people think, blah, blah, look for the solution first, all of that, those are all stories. Imagination is the receiving mode. Isn't that interesting? Imagination is the receiving mode. And every single one of you, when you were children, had an amazing imagination. And the children on the planet today still have amazing imaginations, and that's still inside of you. You still have that. So when you're imagining your vacation, wherever it is, you're in the receiving mode. When you're imagining being with your partner, you're in the receiving mode. When you're imagining going out to a wonderful dinner or whatever it is you're doing, you're in the receiving mode. Get into your imagination again. Use your imagination. So those are a couple little extra things about the law of attraction that we really haven't said before, that we really wanted to say to help you understand, right? Receiving mode, resistance mode. Now, the most important part of all of this that we said tonight is to remember that you always have a choice. You do not have to join mass consciousness. You can still have a happy experience regardless of what's going on out there. It's a matter of paying attention to where your focus is, paying attention to whether you're in alignment or not, and not letting that voice beat you up for not being in alignment. That's a story. And listening for that critical voice that, oh, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're not, and understand those are negative beliefs that are trying to stay around. They're not true. They're not who you are.